burpees and the push-ups were the worst.
I did like
My shoulders hurt.
I did like 30 push-ups.
Honestly,
It was not good.
The wall
It
sits
hurt.
are my favorite part. Mom was like, "Who likes wall sits?" I was like,
Me.
"I don't know. It made me feel relaxed. Like during it, I
was
didn't
gonna
like
run
it,
over to
but it
the
made
wall
me feel
sit.
relaxed after."
I was
And then
gonna
kind
run
of
over
felt.
with you guys to the wall sits, just. But
It
it was
would only be
already
two.
exactly. 'Cause
Me and Charlie.
I was just closing my eyes in the wall sit because I just had to get used to it.
I used to love doing planks, but now I don't do them as much anymore. So now it's like my.
I'm good at doing things, but
I
holding
am-
it for like 2
yeah.
minutes straight.
Like
What's up,
during
I-
quarantine, me
I
and
had a-
my sister would always go to the gym, and then his shop closed down because of quarantine.
I had a-
So
I had
we
a
just
jazz
stopped.
kind of, I had like a jazz dance, and I was like, they would like make you do planks to see how long you could do it for, and I always try to beat this one guy, and we would be like holding it for 2 minutes straight, and I just like a
You used to
millisecond.
do it for like a
It was
minute.
really annoying.
That-
Or they stopped us. It's just.
Please.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Can I get more paper, please? I
Yes.
just ran out.
I know, Melina.
All right, so these ones say for the given value of A, find negative A and then the absolute value of A. So the first thing that we're doing is we're making A negative. So to do that, we're given A is equal to negative 3. So we have negative A is equal to negative times negative 3. Which would be equal to what? What is negative times negative 3?
What?
What would negative times negative 3 be? Just ignore this. Just look at the...
Oh, positive?
It's going to be positive 3.
Negative times a
Read
negative.
the book. I know. I forced myself to study those. I looked it up on Google. I was like, okay, this is, yes.
So then the absolute value of A, we take the negative 3 and we put it in absolute value bars, okay? And what did I say happens when we have absolute value bars? What always happens to the number?
Last year.
I said absolute value makes it always what? I don't know that I necessarily wrote it down.
I'm trying to think.
A and 0.
Okay, so how far away is this from 0?
3?
3. So it's always positive is what I was looking for.
I don't know why I had to.
So if it had been positive to start with, it would have just stayed positive. Since it was negative to start with, we make it positive. Now this next one's a little bit more interesting. A is equal to 0. So with that being said, what would negative A be?
It'd just be 0.
Still just 0. The absolute value of A would be the absolute value of 0, which would be what?
0.
Still 0.
I was like trying to.
I know, it looks like it was going to be a trick question.
I know. I was
All right.
looking out for your trick question.
28. A equals 2.7. So negative A would be equal to what?
2.7.
Negative A.
Oh.
Not the absolute value, just negative A. If I said make A negative, what would you have to do to the other side?
Oh, make the other one negative. So
Yep.
negative 22.7. Okay, that makes more sense.
So then for the absolute value of A1, we take the absolute value of 2.7, which would be what?
2.7.
Yep. $30. A is equal to negative 7.9. So then what would negative A be? if I need negative of A, it's going to give you negative times negative 7.9, which would be what? Two negatives makes a, yep, so it'll just be 7.9. So my recommendation is if your number starts with a negative, go ahead and write negative and then the parentheses of the negative number, so that way you see the negative times the negative. At least until like you get used to what it's asking. So then the absolute value of A would be the absolute value of negative 7.9, which would be what?
Negative 7.9.
Absolute value is always what?
Oh, so it's 2.
So it'll just be 7.9. Let's do this one as a fraction. A is equal to negative 5 over 6. So if I have negative A, I have negative times negative 5 over 6, which would be what?
It's 5 over 6.
Yep. Negative times negative is positive, so we just get 5 over 6. And then the absolute value of A would be the absolute value of negative 5 over 6, which would be what? Yep. That just makes the negative go away, and we always
And
copy
this
on
is
them.
always going to be a positive, like no matter what.
For these ones, it's just always going to be positive. So whatever the number is, you don't even have to worry about what the sign is because it's always going to be positive.
Okay.
So the sign inside doesn't matter for absolute value. It does matter on the negative A ones because we had like negative times negative 5 over 6. Let's see. I think that's pretty much good for this section. So did I give y'all problems yesterday? I did. Okay. So then I will add on to that 23 through 33 odd.